Recording is on.
Perfect. Today we're going to explore different ideas how you can use HML, and HML not only by its own but in combination together with email templates, in snippets, by also combining it with campaigns, engagement programs, and basically like the whole suite of the Pardot functionalities it offers to you. And just obviously, just briefly about myself, I've been in a space for the past 7 years. So most of my time I have worked with end customers by being a consultant, working in the consulting firms. I have actually, for 1.5, 2 years, I worked with a partner who was creating apps for the App Exchange. And then 1.5 years ago, I decided to start my own journey, and I called it Pareto Pie. And now enjoying the pleasure on working with brands directly and communicate with you guys. And without further ado, just to start slowly, because we'll be all the things that I'll be showing you in my presentation, they will be kind of growing from the most simplest one to the most complicated one. So as a first kind of warm up from human to human, I have used a kind of very simple and basic example, but before we actually dive into more complex handlebar merge language functionalities, I briefly wanted to mention why actually Pardot and Salesforce decided to develop and enhance the existing PML, and why actually that wasn't enough. So obviously the big minus of PML Pardot merge language was if the value is not existent. Let's say you have a prospect and you only have email address. If you actually want to send out a personalized email that will gonna have their name, and if the name is not existent, the prospect in this scenario would just see hi and then space and a comma. That looks not very personalized. So with HML, what they achieved is that not only they can mention and represent and say hi John, if that's the name, but they can also be on a safe side, and if for any reason name is not existent, they just can use else and display hello there. And it really helps to develop personal connection with the recipient, give businesses flexibility and consistency with their data, and also prevent them looking unprofessional as a warm-up. And obviously you can use it with any field that Pardot allows you to, any field from lead, contact, person account, opportunity, or potentially if you have integrated your Pardot with any custom object. The second scenario that I want to explore today is always up-to-date landing pages. We marketers, we create a lot of landing pages for events, for gated content, white papers, you name it. There are a lot, and the more we have them, the bigger pressure we have on actually maintaining them, because it can really be a pain in a scenario, for example, 2 years ago when GDPR came up. So suddenly now marketing teams needed to worry and stress about to find all the ties to their landing pages and everything else that was related to landing pages, and go and update manually each thing. So by combining HML tags and snippets, and in my scenario I'm presenting today, let's say you're a very legal or public company and you are required to display a specific copyright date of that landing page content, or maybe publicly available financial report. So you can simply create a snippet and use HML tag of today's year, and in one place update all your landing pages automatically by just going inside your Salesforce and updating that snippet. That will be updated across all your landing pages automatically, and it will help you to eliminate any consuming manual changes one by one, avoid user error, and easily maintain consistency all across your marketing materials. And similarly to the previous one, always up-to-date opt-in text. Marketers can grow their preference centers, their preference center lists, maybe potentially the way they communicate in a message that is under the form. This can really change. And what I like about, again, snippet combination with forms and HML tags, when we are creating a Pardot form, in the either above or below, this also really depends. So above you can display personalized message, or below in this case you can create one snippet with your opt-in text, and in one place in Salesforce update that opt-in use case or the benefit, what will person will gonna get and what they need to be aware, where will be stored their data, etc., under the form. So that's another potential very good use case how you can go and apply it now for your business or your client. The next use case is perfect for any campaigns and any potentially recurring events that you potentially as a consultancy organize, or even like, for example, like we are meeting through this meetup. Meetup is happening every month, so potentially you can reuse the same thing in your subject line across the whole year, and it will work for you perfectly fine. And again, here I'm combining a personalized email subject line with a snippet. So let's say this also goes, what I like, it can be for small company, for one business area, or now we know in Pardot we obviously have multiple business units. So you can apply either these snippets specifically for one type of business, and we can choose, it can be, let's say, L'Oreal, there's Kiehl's, there other cosmetics involved under that brand. So potentially maybe when they run their cross-product campaigns, they can reuse snippets, and you can allow visibility of that snippet to all of the smaller brands, or it can be given and applied to a specific business area. But you can pre-create potentially some annual locations, some date snippets, potentially maybe some reusable links, especially for example with a survey. Maybe after the event you want to send again the same survey to all your recipients. Yes, the whole maybe design of the template can change, the text will gonna change, but the link to your survey will always be the same, because potentially you're gonna ask the same just satisfactory questions. So for that, again, you can create a snippet. You can reuse required HML tags that will gonna have that personalization to the prospect, and it will really can help you. In this case, when we are talking about the subject lines, it can help you to increase your email open rate, make prospects feel more like you know them, and save time on creating these reusable snippets again and again. And what I have personally found, for me, it worked very well with one real estate client who actually is developing a lot of different kind of luxury developments across UK, and for every village, after somebody actually is visiting that specific property, they are automatically sending them a thank you message and saying that it was great to see you at a village, and then asking all of the rest of the questions they need to ask. So that will be obviously a use case where you combine it with automatic messages, with dynamic lists, with automatic emails, to really help your marketing team not to think about manually actually typing this email, but you have set up all your automations, engagements, email templates, dynamic lists already there. You have a logic, and it automatically sends out everything for you instead of you. The next idea is one email fits all. Previously with PML, we could not really achieve this because it was very hard, obviously, to have any replacement text, and we were not able to actually have any replacement text in a scenario if the email was blank. But let's imagine we are all consultants, we are organizing annual dinner for all our top customers who have spent more than 100,000 with us this year on our consulting services. And all of those businesses, obviously, they will be coming from various industries. And after the Christmas dinner, we want to send them, obviously, all of them a general thank you, but at the same time, potentially there is a specific surprise or specific quote or something you have created for that prospect in your email that is related to their specific industry. So this will allow you to easily use specific to display specific information based on the specific values you have or you don't have, and as well as manipulate potentially with various interesting links, buttons, etc., etc. And it will really, again, help you to create very tailored, personalized, and interesting messages. Another idea is one form, personalized for all, and this is probably one of my favorites of today. A lot of times, obviously, we work with either consultancy or graphic agency that is creating a very beautiful looking landing pages that then marketing team reuse for all their campaigns. And if you have recurring customers that are coming to your events or express interest in any other initiatives you as a business do, can you imagine having a landing page where somebody, when they lands, you actually automatically above the form can display either "Welcome back, Kylie, it's nice to see you, and it's great that you want to attend again our new event," and then you already use and pre-fill even form fields so she doesn't need to bother on typing her name again. Or if the same user used incognito, or if it's completely new visitor, you can display, "Please tell us a bit more about yourself." So this is a brilliant way where you can utilize these HML tags and really be very personalized, or don't look silly and display still something very appropriate. This will be very interesting, and I will explain this in a multiple steps. So we will now be combining the power of dynamic content, scoring categories, and HML. And the reason for this use case is that a lot of times, most of the businesses, you can have multiple services or multiple products, and let's say you want to send a personalized newsletter or personalized email to a client based on the products they're interested in. And the way we do that in Pardot, obviously, we create various different folders. Each folder has its own scoring category, and then by going to a prospect's profile, we can easily see, product number 1, here they have 95, product number 2, 90, and let's say we want to send out email to only those prospects that have accumulated at least 50 points about specific product, because then we really know they're actually interested in. The unfortunate thing is that we can't really manipulate and utilize dynamic content based on scoring categories. We can only use score. So for most of the businesses that actually have multiple products and services, they are kind of stuck in a corner. So what should we do now? We want to send about information only about their favorite product, but we can't do that because we can't use scoring categories. So the use case and the hack that we have developed here is what you can do for each of your product or service. You can create a custom field, and let's say in my specific scenario, a Pareto Pie is focusing on Pardot implementations, Salesforce implementations, and Marketing Cloud implementations. So for you, it will be one of 3. And I go ahead and I create Pardot only fields that will going to be storing these checkboxes, whether they have reached at least 50 points and express their interest in a Pardot implementation. So that's step number 1. For each of your product or service, you create a custom field. Then obviously we need to somehow automate the logic and the way how we can actually tick the box. So what I'm saying here, based on a scoring category, if your scoring category around Pardot implementation is greater than 50, please go ahead and tick this checkbox, e.g. custom field, set it as true. So then when I'll be going to prospect, I'll be able to easily not only see their scores, but there will be in a custom field section, I'll see where he already has reached 50. And now I can easily use this custom field in a dynamic content. And what I'm gonna do, first dynamic content that I'm gonna create is, it will gonna have none of the default text populated, but I'll just say if you're interested in Salesforce blog posts, if their interest is Salesforce, then they're going to see about Salesforce. If their interest is about Pardot, I'm going to display dynamic block with Pardot. If they're interested in Marketing Cloud, I'm going to display the Marketing Cloud. But then as we use HML, we're going to be saying if this 50, display this. If this 50, display this. If this 50, display this. But what if they don't have 50 points for any of these? Then in a third option, I'll display, just go ahead and just check out my blog. Don't specifically focus on any product. And here you can take a screenshot or there will be a recording. So this will be a logic of basically HML combined with dynamic content. So we are displaying if it's Salesforce main interest Salesforce, if it's Pardot, display Pardot, if it's Marketing Cloud, display Marketing Cloud, but if there is none, display just a general information for that prospect. So that's kind of a very complicated but a very brilliant way how now we can utilize all the magic wonders of Pardot in one to actually make it very great and brilliant altogether. So another thing is with another client, I had a kind of challenge. They have a very long and interesting lead verification and progression process, meaning that most of the times, and a lot of businesses, they receive a new lead and it's kind of new, nurturing, and converted. So in my scenario, how I can go back. In my scenario, so client had a lot of these lead stages, and at each stage, to improve their velocity, meaning improve general and make sure the prospect actually moves very quickly through the whole lead progression. If they don't do what they're supposed to do in a specific time frame at that specific lead status, they want to send them an email notification. So what we actually did is in Salesforce, we simply created a hidden date field, last lead status change date, simple date field, a simple workflow to update every time status is changed. They just populate it with a date. And then in Pardot, for each of these different lead stages, we're creating dynamic list. Very simple two criteria. So we are checking specific lead status, and we are checking how long time ago that change date was, and if it's longer than 7 days, or depending on, for each lead status they had a specific time frame where they think they should do all the actions they need to do. If they don't do what we were basically doing, we were sending them an email update. So basically we created one email template, one engagement program. Email template, again, you utilize your HML tags, whatever you need to do. We simply create an engagement program that is checking which list they belong to, and list is a lead status. And also what is obviously very important with this engagement program and what Pardot released, I think about 2 years ago, the same prospect can enter the same program multiple times. So you need to make sure you enable that checkbox on the program. And then based on a list, every time they meet the criteria that basically we add all the lists that we created, they will be basically circling and entering this program all the time, again and again. Program will gonna check list 1, no, go to the next one, list 2, list 2 is the one. They send an update email. Then within 7 days, we decided to check whether they actually checked their notification, and then we're checking basically their status, if they still fit the criteria of that status and those days. And then if yes, we just send them again reminder if we need to. If not, they just exit the program and then re-enter the program again. So this is kind of complex combination of logic in Salesforce, dynamic content, engagement program, email template, HML fields, and being relevant. But all together, you set it once, and then basically Pardot and Salesforce sends all these reminders instead of you. And all you need to do is just show to the work and pick up the phone call. No manual follow-ups. Salesforce and Pardot that knows it better than you with whom and when you need to follow up. And another idea, when we were talking about this meetup, there was also a potential idea and a request about specific unique discount codes or unique, links that you can send to the prospects. Obviously, this is probably very much more popular for really large brands, and potentially these large brands will going to go ahead with the marketing cloud. But if it's still relevant and you're a smaller business, you can do a very creative and cool things in Pardot. And we're going to explore that today. So I have example of a treatwell. This will be probably a more popular potentially service to use for ladies in UK, but for men, if you're a massage lover or need anything, any other pampering, this will be very relevant as well. So what Treatwell does, after you visit or use their service to book a massage, hair appointment, nails, you name it, after the first visit, they can send you a £5 or $5, €5 off discount for your next visit, obviously for you to encourage to use their service again. And what they do is for every lead, every contact, whoever you are in their system, their system is automatically generating a unique code to make sure actually when you use the code, you are permitted to use that specific promo code to actually get that discount. And to get that discount, you need to receive a specific link. So what we did here actually is we use a very simple href tag, href. I don't know, it's probably pronounced for everyone differently, but you get the link. Then from lead or a contact, we get a specific recipient code. And then by displaying it in a tag, it actually comes out here as a clickable link. Obviously, prospects see that it's a long link, but it's a not spammy link. And if they really want to use £5 discount, they'll just click on a link, will be automatically taken to their website, and will be able to go ahead and book their next treatment with Treatwell. So that's a cool way how to utilize HML tag in link. And last but not least, activity encouragement with collecting stamps. Probably not now, obviously it's a lockdown, but I'm sure we all really like to collect coffee stamps. We collect 9 stamps and 10 coffee is for free. Obviously, who doesn't like free stuff, right? So idea that I wanted to demonstrate here is combination of HML, dynamic content, email templates, and obviously building that engagement with prospect for you as a business to actually make him want to come to your coffee shop again to buy another coffee and spend with you money. Here is kind of a larger image, but this is the email template. So basically, it can be 5 stamps, it can be 10 stamps. So in this scenario, what we did, we sent 2 emails. One email we sent out when prospect reached halfway through. So basically, when there are 9 stamps, when prospect reached 5 stamps, we send them automatically an encouragement email saying, hey, you are more than halfway through, hurry up, drink more coffee, collect stamps, and soon you're gonna get your free coffee. Or when prospect has reached 8 stamps and they need just 1 more stamp, again, it's a easy sale. They just need to come to the coffee shop, pick up their last coffee, and next time their coffee will be for free. So obviously we're tracking these stamps based on prospects, e.g. leads or contacts activities in Salesforce. So every time new stamp, new activity was assigned, created against that lead and a contact, we had a trigger that updated their number of stamps in the system. And then in the email template, we used HML to display what is the number of stamps they have. And then we used dynamic content to simply display the image. So either, I mean, whatever image was of the stamps they wanted to have. That's it in terms of myself and all the creative ideas on how you can use Pardot, HML, engagement programs, dynamic content, dynamic lists, email templates. So be creative, use it all, don't be scared, break it, fix it, break it, fix it. I guess have fun.
Kristina, asking your web is checking some connection trouble. Kristina, this was amazing from my personal perspective. I really love our